Welcome back to Justice for Jean Alesi 2 in Formula 1 97, and round 11 brings us to what would have been the 13th running of the Hungarian Grand Prix, the 12th time this race was run as part of the World Championship. Every single World Championship running of this event has always taken place here at the Hungaroring. Fun fact, the one non-World Championship Hungarian Grand Prix took place in 1936 and was held at Nepliget Park in Budapest. I think the Hungaroring has provided some pretty compelling, if not downright entertaining races throughout the years, sometimes down to strategy, sometimes down to the weather. Unfortunately in the game, I am preparing mentally and physically for a humbling the size of Buenos Aires earlier in the season. The AI are just so good here, so I think it's going to be a tough afternoon, and that's even before we get to the issue of the penalty. Thank you to everyone who watched the German Grand Prix and gave their opinion on what my penalty should be. If you missed it, go back and take a look. There were a few incidents I could have been slapped for, but the main one involved poor old heinz-harald. Based on the most common answers and what got the most likes, the FIA is going to say that Jean Alesi will have a 50% reduction in his allocated qualifying laps for the Hungarian Grand Prix, meaning we only get 6 laps, and if we happen to be on the wrong tyres, we'll have to use one of those laps up to change tyres, so it may be down to 5. Considering the combination of the track that we're on, it might end up being a back of the grid penalty. I think it will be a fair penalty when all's said and done. But first, in the Real 97 qualifying, Schumacher took pole from title rival Villeneuve, but the big story of qualifying was of course Damon Hill, third in the Arrows, just 3/10 off the pole time of Schumacher. Arrows had an horrific start to the season, and they'd been making strides, but nowhere near this. Their chassis just seemed to work with this track. That being said though, definitely not all the car, as teammate Pedro Diniz was 19th. So I think fair props should be given to Damon Hill on his performance here. In the meantime, Alesi qualified 9th, 2 places behind teammate Berger. In the Panis playthrough, we qualified 18th. That is how slow we could be in the dry. And considering, as you saw from the footage there, that practice was wet, I've done no dry running. I've almost made the setup more downforce heavy because I'm kind of banking on rain to save us a little bit. I am going to put the target as Alesi's real life 9th, but I am fully expecting to fail it. Oh my god, we've been really good in wet weather. I mean, I still need to put in a good lap, and I don't think my times are... I have no idea how quick the times are going to be, but we might have a lifeline with the heavens open. And we've got monsoon tyres on already, so here we go, 6 laps. However, with almost 5 laps done, I'd been struggling to even beat the early session times to get on provisional pole, something that hadn't been a problem in previous wet weather qualifying sessions. Start of lap 6, I managed to get on provisional pole. You see, I'm very happy / relieved about that by 1/2 tenth. This is the final of my allotted qualifying laps. A bit of a broad slide into turn 1. And you really just don't want to scrub off any speed if you can avoid it, because it takes so long in the wet weather to get back up through the gears. Through turn 3, and then slowly build up the revs before we reach turn 4. In the dry, a thrilling fast left-hander here. Flick down a couple of gears just to make sure not to have too many excessive inputs on the steering, and you will still spin round even with a high downforce setup. 7/10 up in the first sector, very strong, but then unfortunately snatched down into first gear before the chicane. Just needlessly scrubbing off speed there. Coming into turn 8, a little bit of a slide, and it's been a very messy middle sector so far. There, the Real 97 pole and the Justice for Olivier Panis pole, both set in the dry, so completely irrelevant for this qualifying session. Under the bridge to end sector 2, and I'm still up by 3/10, but as you can see I've lost 4/10. Those mistakes very costly now. Just the final 2 turns. Turn 12, keep it tight to the inside, up to second, but it's going to be back down to first for turn 13. Just gentle inputs, try and get the car around, and then power on as early as possible. Will it be an improvement? Oh. God damn. You know, it says a lot that we are struggling to even beat the early session time set by people like Barrichello and Hill. Here we go then. Times do drop over the session, so even though we got into provisional pole, doesn't necessarily mean we're going to stay there. Have we? Schumacher is on pole, Panis second. Oh, times dropped a lot. Nakano in third, Hill fourth, Berger fifth, Barrichello sixth. We're still going to be down the grid. Are we going to make target? Frenson's in eighth, Villeneuve ninth. We are in the top 10 though, incredibly. Just outside of target, just behind the two Williams. It's another very mixed up grid. Not mixed up enough for my liking. Schumacher, of course, he's on pole. Yeah, to be struggling to even match the times in the wet shows how good the AI are. But Panis up in second. I'd love him to do well. I can't believe Nakano's in third, Hill in fourth. Those constructors having incredible seasons. Maybe Barrichello could hang on as well. Now, in real life, this, of course, was the legendary race where a 50p washer caused a throttle linkage failure on Damon Hill's car with 3 laps to go while he was leading. He looked set to win Arrow's and Yamaha's first on what would have been their only win in Formula 1, but instead he had to settle for a heartbreaking second. Now, considering how poor Arrow's and Hill's season had been so far, that's still an incredible achievement, but considering for large parts of the race they looked just nailed on for this win, like the Bridgestone tyres were also helping them just maintain their race pace for longer because the Bridgestones were so hard wearing, like it was theirs, and that failure took it away from them. Jacques Villeneuve would inherit the win. Johnny Herbert was an incredible third for Sauber. Michael and Ralf Schumacher were 4th and 5th respectively, while the Prost duo of Nakano and Trulli were 6th and 7th respectively. Alesi came home 11th, 1 lap down. And I was informed in the comments of the last round by Ian Simpson that Alesi was not a big fan of the Hungaroring. Same, I think. In the Panis playthrough, we finished 12th. We gained some places off the start, but then we were nowhere pace-wise. If it's wet, we might have a chance to pick up some points. If it's dry, damage limitation, hold on for your life. Like, maybe I could pick up some places at the start and just try and hang on. But considering we've not done any running in the dry or setup testing in the dry, I'm going to say points. It's an optimistic points. But I think we might be relinquishing our championship lead to Schumacher again today. I just hope it's not going to be a full 10 points for the German. Yeah, I'm not surprised. The sun comes out for the race. Oh, this could be painful. Hold on to your hats. And incredibly, we gain a place off the start for the first time. Until I switch up a couple of gears too early. Oh dear. Oh God, that was awful. Okay, we're into a little bit of clear air. Let's just... Oh God. Like I said, I've gone for a very high downforce setup, just almost banking on rain. And that didn't really do us that much favours. It got us probably just into the top 10, but you can see how slow we were. Oh God, it snatched at the gear shift down. Do just pull away. Oh! And there's a car off in the gravel. And a Ferrari down here. I feel like that's probably going to more likely be Irvine, who's having a nightmare season. As he tries to get past the Minardi of Katayama. Oh God. Oh god. We're just so slow in so many of the corners. We have a Sauber right behind us. I've left the door wide open into one. That's Gianni Morbidelli. Sorry, Maria, mistaken there. Larini not driving. In the meantime, Irvine picking up a few places ahead. Oh, and the other Sauber's through. Herbert. No. Right, that one was definitely not me. It was opportunist, to say the least. Oh, God, this is horrific. Just need to keep it on the racing line. Cannot go deep, because that's when they see a gap and they will lunge. But I've just got an earful of everyone else's engines, because they are that close to me. Oh, action up ahead. Don't know what's happened there, but all of a sudden, we're up to 15th. And we can suddenly see the Ferrari of Irvine and Katayama again. Go on, guys, you keep fighting with each other, that's fine. Fought so hard to keep it on the inside. Got on the curb, slow. It's alright, Herbert will take me around the outside.
In fourth place, Michael Schumacher. In fifth position, Williams #1. In sixth position, Shinji Nakano.
I did not hear who was leading. Is Hill still up there? Could Hill win? Could he actually win the race he lost? That would actually make me feel fine about this nonsense. Oh my god. 2 McLarens and a Jordan behind me. They're a long way back. They are not where they need to be if they want to be getting back into the top 4. Honestly, my main goal is to kind of just leave here without any more penalties, so so I have slowly pulled out a bit of a gap. The gap is gone. Oh! Tried to carry too much speed into it there. Fortunately, keep it on the racing line.
The top positions are first, Damon Hill. In second position, Heinz-harald. In third, Olivier Panis. Hang on, only 3 laps to go. In fourth place, Michael Schumacher. In fifth position, Williams #1. In sixth position, Shinji Nakano.
I mean, David, that was just... I know you're being an opportunist. They're on rails through those long sweeping corners. Oh god, I've got Hakkinen now.
And he's on his last lap now.
Thank God for that.
He's losing ground.
Well, that went as well as I think you can expect. Jesus. I mean, I finished ahead of a McLaren and 2 Jordans, which in 1997, quite good, but penalty served, I think. Damon Hill wins the race that he lost in the Arrows. He holds on to win by 5 seconds from Heinz-Harald Frentzen. Both Williams with an incredible recovery from outside the top 10. They started just ahead of us in 8th and 9th, and look at where they finished. And look at where we are. Very different tale today. It's an incredible double points finish for Prost. Panis in 4th, Nakano in 6th. Michael Schumacher from pole drops away to finish 5th. I was not expecting that. Damon Hill with the fastest lap of the race. Our fastest lap about 3 seconds slower. So, incredibly, because of Schumacher dropping down to 5th, he goes from being 1 point behind to just being 1 point ahead. I will take that and run, to be honest. I was expecting us to be 9 points back from Schumacher again. We were okay, we've survived. Villeneuve closing the gap vitally for his season. He's only 12 points away from Schumacher. Frentzen, in the meantime, a vital second. He was starting to get caught by Berger, but he puts a little bit of air between them, a 12-point gap. Incredibly, Damon Hill is now in 6th, just 4 points behind Gerhard Berger. What a season he's having. Eddie Irvine has gone completely missing. Forget fast Eddie, lost Eddie. In the Constructors, Williams take the lead by a point. It's still on though, we still survive despite Benetton not scoring a single thing. Ferrari miss a huge opportunity. They are 8 points behind the leaders. It's still a very close three-way fight. In the meantime though, scenes behind us, Arrows and Prost are level on points for 4th. Ahead of McLaren, ahead of Jordan. Sauber have also scored points this season. Up next, we head to Spa-Francorchamps for the Belgian Grand Prix, and this is a track that is neither good or bad for us. This is very much firm in the middle. Last time we missed out on points by just 1 place, so I feel like I need to bring my A game to make sure we score points here. Again, weather in the mix could come to our aid, or, I mean, maybe not today. Weather didn't really help us at all, but maybe that's just because we were at the Helgara ring. It's been an incredible season, and as I keep saying it, long may it continue, and it continues at the Belgian Grand Prix next time. Thank you so much for watching. I really hope you're enjoying this series. If you got this far, I really do appreciate it. And you know what? I hate saying this usually, but it is proven to help. Please do, if you enjoyed this, like and subscribe. Oh, that feels... Oh, I didn't like saying that. I mean, do it, please, but... It made me feel YouTubery and I don't like it. Thanks for watching. I'll see you soon.